All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? All my people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, all the way out to Staten Island, and my home borough, Brooklyn. Back at it with another video. And in honor of Super Bowl week, I'm going to be doing another entry into the Greatest Games Ever series, this time covering Super Bowl 56, which was played between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. First, a little backdrop on the two teams, starting with the Cincinnati Bengals. In the 2020 NFL Draft, with the first overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Joe Burrow, who was coming off a legendary season in college in which he had won the Heisman Trophy and led the LSU Tigers to a national championship, a dominant victory over the Clemson Tigers, might I add, who were the defending national champions. Okay, the Bengals selected Burrow number one overall to be the future of their franchise and to replace Andy Dalton. So obviously there were a lot of high expectations on this young man, Joe Burrow, but he was playing very, very well until, unfortunately for him and the Bengals, he got injured and was forced to miss the rest of the 2020 season. There goes Rookie of the Year. In the 2021 NFL Draft, the Bengals selected Joe Burrow's teammate at LSU, Ja'Marr Chase, to be his number one receiver. He was his number one in college, even though he played with Justin Jefferson, and Ja'Marr Chase was going to be his number one in Cincinnati. They added Ja'Marr Chase to already a talented young Bengals squad, quarterbacked by Joe Burrow, and had Joe Mixon in the backfield, another very talented wide receiver, number two receiver, T. Higgins. The Bengals were a very young, talented squad, but nobody could have predicted what ended up happening. That 2021 season, the Bengals went 10-7 and made the playoffs. And then the wild card game against the Raiders, they defeated the Raiders to get their first ever playoff victory in 31 years. Think about it. 31 years since they won a playoff game, and they get their first playoff victory thanks to this young man right here. That shows you the greatness that he has about him. Now, Joe Burrow definitely changed the culture of the Bengals. Got to give him that much credit. Anyway, they advanced to the AFC divisional round, and they traveled down to Nashville to take on the number one seed Tennessee Titans. How the Tennessee Titans got the number one seed with Derrick Henry missing most of the season is nothing short of a miracle. Mike Vrabel earned Coach of the Year that year, in my view. But Joe Burrow wasn't intimidated by the Titans or the fact that they're the number one seed, because thanks to the kicker making a game-winning field goal, Joe Burrow led the Bengals to a 19-16 victory over the Titans, knocking them out of the playoffs. Joe Burrow, of course, got the kicker in the field goal range. You know, the 2021 divisional round was one of the best, probably the best divisional round in the history of the NFL playoffs, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, the Bengals were advanced to the AFC Championship game, where they continued to shock the world. After being down 21-3 against the Kansas City Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill, the Bengals stormed back to tie the game, and then in overtime, they defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 27-24, and were headed to their first ever Super Bowl in 33 years. 33 years since the Super Bowl, and Joe Burrow led the Bengals to their first playoff win in 31 years, and their first Super Bowl appearance in 33 years, and his first full healthy season. Got to give him that much credit. Now to the LA Rams. That offseason, in the 2020 offseason, the LA Rams traded Jared Goff to the Detroit Lions in exchange for the Lions starting quarterback Matthew Stafford. And a lot of people hyped up this trade. At the time, I said pump the brakes. It wasn't that big a deal to me. I mean, Matt Stafford, although very talented, in 11 years in Detroit, he only made the playoffs 3 times and had 0 playoff wins. And I get it, it's the Lions, blah, blah, blah. But the Lions had Calvin Megatron Johnson and then Ndamukong Suh. So they had some talented teams, but still couldn't get a playoff win. So I thought, pump the brakes. And boy, was I wrong. Matt Stafford, he should prove me wrong. That's our 21 season. Thanks mainly to this guy right here, number 10, Cooper Kupp, who had one of the greatest seasons a wide receiver ever had in NFL history. He had 145 catches, 1,147 yards, and 16 touchdowns to win the wide receiver triple crown. The first receiver to do that since Steve Smith in 2005. 145 catches, which was a few shy of Michael Thomas's record. 1,947 receiving yards, a lot shy of Calvin Megatron Johnson's record in 2012. But hey, he could have had it, but he didn't get it. It's okay. That's life. Cooper Kupp was, however, named Offensive Player of the Year, and he deserved it. On the defense, they, of course, had 3-time Defensive Player of the Year Aaron Donald, still hunting for the Super Bowl title, and star cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who they traded for in the previous NFL trade deadline from the Jacksonville Jaguars. In midseason, they added Odell Beckham Jr., who was released, unfortunately, by the Cleveland Browns. Well, I should say, unfortunately. Cleveland's football hell. But and the Rams were 12-5 and won their division. In their first playoff game in the wild card round, they defeated their division rival, the Arizona Cardinals in dominant fashion, 34-11. In the divisional round, the 2021 divisional round was, to me, the best divisional round of all time, and this was probably the best game played that weekend, and that's saying a lot. The Rams took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were defending Super Bowl champions in Tampa Bay. The score tied 27-27. Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. all made big plays to get the Rams in the field goal range, and the Rams defeated the Buccaneers 30-27 and sent Tom Brady into retirement, at least for 40 days. In the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers have beaten the Rams twice in the regular season. I believe had a 6-game winning streak over the Rams heading into this game. What a time to break that streak, as the Rams defeated the 49ers 20-17 to advance to the Super Bowl for the first time in 3 years. They had, of course, win 2018 where they had lost to the Tom Brady-led Patriots. And this was the second year in a row the Super Bowl was going to be played by the home team. Of course, the Buccaneers made it to the Super Bowl in 2020. The Super Bowl that year was played in Tampa Bay. And now the Rams were going to be playing the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. Talk about NFL history, back-to-back years. In the Super Bowl, the Rams struck first. Odell Beckham Jr. caught a touchdown to make it 7-0. I was very happy for Odell. Even though I wanted him to win the Super Bowl with the Giants, I was happy that he won one with the Rams. And Odell Beckham Jr. was on his way to win Super Bowl MVP until he got hurt. Very unfortunate. That led Super Bowl MVP to be won by this man right here, Cooper Kupp, who himself caught a touchdown. And even though the Rams failed 2-point conversion attempt, made it 13-3. But the Bengals weren't going to just take that line. Joe Burrow found T. Higgins to make it a 13-10 ball game, heading into halftime, where Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar gave us one of the greatest halftime shows ever. All hip-hop halftime show. Well, of course, Mary J. Blige is R&B, but you get my point. And now Kendrick Lamar is going to be performing this weekend with SZA. We'll see what he'll do. And when it come out of halftime, the Bengals scored to make it a 17-13 ball game. The Rams struck back with a field goal to make it 17-16. The Bengals answered with another field goal to make it 20-16. Well, on a clutch drive, Matt Stafford found Cooper Kupp to make it a 23-20 ball game. And Aaron Donald, was hell-bent on winning the Super Bowl, made some clutch Super Bowl defensive plays. He sacked Joe Burrow, and he tackled Joe Mixon on another play to make it to force a fourth down, just cementing a Rams Super Bowl victory. See Aaron Donald running around the field, pointing his ring finger, talking about, ring me, nigga, ring me. And the clock winding down, and the game was over, and the L.A. Rams were Super Bowl champions, second Super Bowl in franchise history. Of course, they'd won previously as the St. Louis Rams in 1999. And now they were Super Bowl champions again in their hometown, in their home arena. Aaron Donald finally got his ring. Matthew Stafford finally got a ring after 11 years in the NFL. Odell Beckham Jr. got a ring. Cooper Kupp, Sean McVay, they all made up for their Super Bowl loss in 2018. Of course, Jared Goff and Todd Gurley weren't on the team anymore, but still, you get my point. Oh, let me not forget to mention, they added Von Miller. Von Miller, who had 2 sacks in that game. They, I believe, traded for him mid-season. Von Miller earned himself another Super Bowl ring that year, of course. But anyway, like I said, was this one of the greatest Super Bowls ever played to you guys? Was it the best Super Bowl of the decade to you? To me, the best Super Bowl of the decade was the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl a couple years ago. But, hey, we'll see what happens this weekend with the Eagles and Chiefs. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to click like, subscribe. I'll be on Brother Grow on YouTube, and I'm going to see you all.